Hey, you guys, it is Star, and of course, that's with Authentic Star, or that's buy a car from Star, Talking Tees dot shop. What's up? Wanted to make this video for mainly for my customers. I wanted to share a little bit about what my recent journey has been, and I have an announcement. So tune in, listen up. I got some news for you, got a little bit to share with you. Most have been clueless to what has been going on in the last months with me, and pretty much was supposed to. You guys weren't supposed to know. I think I stayed a little close to the Lord and stayed in and prayed and did a whole lot in order to really hear on my next move. And so, as you can see from the caption, I have resigned from Canon Nissan of Jackson. No shade, none at all. It was time. And I just wanted to make sure that I shared that with my customers and with those who it mattered to, so that as people start to ask and questions about where I am and if they're calling the dealership for me, to know that I'm no longer there. And so that's this part of the journey. But you guys, I made the video mainly. I could have posted it. I mainly wanted to make the video because of the journey, because I think the journey is relevant to a lot of you as far as those who are interested in both business and keeping their career. Maybe starting side hustle or turning a side hustle into a business full time. And you have been wondering how to do that. And I honestly believe that I've gone through this journey for the last months for that reason. I do believe that my journey and this experience has been to help others. And so I just wanted to document that and then share a little bit with you guys and tell you about the exciting news that is coming up. So stay tuned for that. But this journey really started with the desire of an asking the Lord really clearly on what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm always asking that question. I'm always saying, hey, am I in the right place, doing the right thing with the right people? And so I really got started on that journey. It really could have almost been a year ago. I think made some decisions, some things that he told me to do. And I made those things, those changes probably a year ago. I started them back July, August of last year. And so I've been real strategic about what I've been doing in the last year. And I had some delays, of course. I don't call it delay, but of course, the passing of my father in December. And so that put a halt to it for a while, shifted my schedule at work, and also put a halt to some things business wise. And so, thus, taking it a year to complete this journey. I did think about it when I went back to work in February. Was I supposed to go back after my dad's passing? Was I supposed to change and shift at that point? And so I did question that, but like I said, and it has been, I've been in prayer about it a lot to see what the direction was. So anyway, so there were some things that my assignment was to put in place months ago, last year. And so I was looking into, some things, office, looking at the strength of the structure and formation of the business, making sure that I had all those things in place. Really was looking for some autopilot services in order to just make sure that the business could run on its own when it needed to. And then also I was making sure that anything I did business-wise, I did it on my own time. I did it in the evening, worked on things in the evening. Most of my clients knew that I would tell them, hey, I can work on this better on a Thursday because that was my day off from the dealership. And so I would get up early morning, stay up late nights, and then work mainly on my day off or the weekends on my business. I'll come back around to that in a minute as far as how to do that. But I do believe that it is just a time for those who are interested in adding to their income, whether it's time for you to come off of the 9 to 5, or it is to add just the additional income and you keep your 9 to 5, but there's a way to do this business. And I do believe a lot of people are on pause when it comes to that business because of trying to figure out how to do it. And so I've walked this journey a little bit. It may help a little bit, it may not, but I'm going to share that as well. But interesting because preparation is key. I think preparation is everything. Some things you may fall into, but I think if you have the opportunity, you make sure that you prepare for the business, you prepare, you make sure that your structure is sound, formation is strong. It's what the banks want to see as a business if you're going to be taken seriously. You want to make sure too that you consider all things, family, your schedule, what can you handle with a job, and how much do you want to do as far as business by itself. And so there are a lot of things to consider in preparation for the business. And I think you can get those things done and set yourself a goal over time to have those things done prior to you coming off the job or before you get started. You can make those preparations. But I think that's, let's see, we get into the next. I did make a few little notes because some things I just really want to hit. And I think I'll do a part 2 that is for the people who are generally just interested in starting the business and a few points that I made for that. I just want to share a little about the journey itself because, again, preparation came first. I didn't do this. I didn't resign out of emotion. I did not resign, force, any of that. It was time. And so with that, I was strategic about my days there. I was strategic about my time. I was strategic in doing, and I could have stayed, but if I'm looking at it, and I think this is a point to make, if I'm looking at my overall purpose, and I know that when I went to Canon, I know that Canon was a resource for me. And it has been well. I've done well in the car business. It has afforded me a really good income. I have no issues there. Would still work the car business, love the car business. Always would do something concerning transportation and negotiation. You guys know I still do that. And then vehicle location as well. You do that still. So none of that has changed. But I kept asking, what's my real purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? Who am I supposed to be doing that with? And so I didn't think that lifetime I would retire at a dealership. I know though that when I'm there, I've given my 100%. I think you guys know that as clients and customers. I think everybody that knows me know that my work ethic is 100%. I'm giving you my all when I'm there. I'm thinking of all kind of ideas that's going to bring in new clients, new customers, new business, new ideas, things that are going to help the customer, things that are going to help the dealership. So I'm giving 100%. So I think that's one of the points too, is when you are at the job, give the 100% at the job. And then when you change hats, give 100% to the business. And so I think it was just timing. So nonetheless, so I start putting things in place. I secured a building, an office, needed to restructure some things with the business as well. So address changed, location changed, all of that, put those things in place, right? And make sure my name, banking, a lot of things were already set up and in place. Had some things already, but I wanted to make sure it was solid. All right. And then with the new venture, some things I want to announce to you, I had to get those things together. So in moving forward, had those things already in place. But what happened is more of what I want to share about the journey, especially if you know what you're supposed to be doing and moving forward, then you know who you're called to, you know what you're called to do. And so some things you don't find them to just be coincidental that they happen along the journey. I think they're all part of the exit. And so taking from my notes, my journey of my exit began a few months ago, probably three to 4 months ago. But of course, like I said, preparation started over a year ago in July and August of last year. Now, I really do believe that I was supposed to have learned a whole lot out of this last quarter, and I did. This last quarter stretched me, it increased me, it enlarged me, it grew me, it matured me. I think all of that is needed for my next. I believe everything I went through is for my next, right? And so let me just say, while I was told and know I needed to stay put, it did take endurance. It took long suffering. It took trusting God to know of right timing, and Lord, it took obedience because I knew I needed to do it exactly like He was telling me to do it. Now, as I mentioned earlier about work and work schedule, and even in the preparation, I say this and write this down. This is important. Integrity is a key factor to have if you're thinking to transition out of the job, if you are looking to have a side hustle. Integrity is key. Integrity is everything. I didn't do my business or side hustle while on the job. If I had somewhere to run, I would do that on my lunch break. And I took care of business after hour and on the weekends. And so I did that on my off time, my time away from the dealership. I did that, but integrity is a key factor to have. And to me, when other people use tactics that are lowered and demeaning, you still have to protect your integrity. So everybody's not going to like that you do your job well. Everybody is definitely not going to like that you may even consider having a side hustle. Doesn't have to be your job's business. Everybody is not going to be okay with that, right? And so I say at all costs, protect your integrity because integrity is everything. And so I know that strongly I am supposed to be, I say, called in the workplace. I enjoy business. I know that that is part of my calling, part of my life, part of my purpose is business. And so I do believe that when I went through the journey, I do believe I went through it to help somebody else. I believe my story, it will encourage those who again know that they're on their current assignment, but they're looking to transition from that assignment to maybe their side hustle or their business. And so that I'm clear of, right? And so I think, again, it is to show the balance between the job and the business. Because when I do talk to people and we do a consult, I think that's the biggest challenge for most when I'm sharing or when they're sharing with me is splitting that time of how do I do the job or be very effective in my business. I don't have time to build the business. I don't have time to get the clients. I don't have time to do that. But I think there's a way to do that, to set it up. And then you'll know if that's something you want to move into full time. I think it's good to start it while you're working because it will help you if it's something that you would give up the job for, right? Do you believe in it enough to stop working the full-time job and move into business? Nonetheless, so again, I just don't think I went through that for nothing, passing some of these notes. But what happened one of the days, and this is why I knew it was coming to a end, right? And so one of the days I was at work and there was something said by one of the managers. And you guys, when I say that part was the hardest thing to receive on somebody's job, because I think I've always been, and I know I am and have been entrepreneur spirit all the time, my whole life. And so there was just something that was said that was very, very demeaning. It was very belittling. The way they said it to me even had just that slave mentality connotation to it. It was not good at all. And so I don't think from that day forward was I the same at the job. I love, love, love what I do. I looked forward to going to work. I looked forward to seeing my clients. I looked forward to working with others. I enjoy the whole car business, right? And so that kind of shifted me. But again, because of preparation, some things didn't throw me, but that incident did. And so that was one of the things that took me, and I went into deep prayer. I took days and I began to ask the Lord, all right, what are we doing here? Why are we still here? Why are we still going through this? What's going on? And then we saw some things that were deteriorating in the car business process, the whole or month to month. And so to me, I think when your money starts to look a little funny and your schedule's a little different and you normally are selling a number of cars and then all of a sudden that changes, you do have to go back to the drawing board and ask what's happening, what's happening to my stream of income, what's happening to my resource. I think that's important. You always got to go back and hit the refresh button to see, are you still in the right place doing the right thing with the right people? And so with that said, that just started the last few months, and that has been the most challenging to stay put when now you're hearing the instruction to know what to do on the next, but you still want to carry it out at the right time. Because when you get ready to leave, you don't want to have, and I'll get into that, I'm jumping ahead, regrets about the transition and the changeover. And so, anyway, but it put down as a note to come in from the manager, it provoked me because though I was making preparation, I didn't have the full assignment yet. I didn't have the full instruction yet. I just knew to prepare and start preparing. And so I started doing some things. I think y'all saw I posted the vehicle and a couple of things that I just put in place. But it provoked me to seek, I would say, more eagerly about what I'm supposed to be doing. And so it became very much the priority to know. And I say, remember in your exit, it takes preparation. It prepared me within to know what to do next or prepare me for where I'm headed. I think it prepares everything around you because you have to look at where you're going to, if you're going to transition a business, where you're working and who you're going to be working with. How does that affect your family? How does that affect your money? Things like that. And then I think it's preparing for you. So it could be, it's the next, and it could be the very solidarity that you need for your next, right? Peace of mind, increased income, liberties and freedoms that you don't have on the job, opportunity to help more people that you're not able to help on the particular job that you're on. So it's preparation. Again, I think it was supposed to have happened to shift me out of my old assignment and get me to my ultimate purpose. Now, I say that because sometimes we can get stagnant and we get stuck in the assignment that we are on right then. But when we're supposed to transition, I think we can get stuck and we stay too long. And then now it dries up, it causes more issues. You start having problems with people on the job, things like that. So you have to know when it's time to exit. I think that's the other point, preparation. But then the next is you have to know when to exit if you're going to leave the job. All right. And I think working at the dealership was a part of the plan, but not the whole plan. So, people say, well, why would you leave? And you had that. Why would you leave? You do so well. Yes, but that was not my ultimate plan, ultimate purpose, ultimate assignment. That was part of it. When you're called to something, every experience you have will in some manner connect you to that ultimate plan. So absolutely, I believe the 10 years in the business that I've done with in the car industry has significantly given me enough input, experience, know-how, information that I needed for my next. So wherever you're going or wherever you are, that's going to help you. That information, it may not seem like the dots connect, but it's going to help you in your next season, next level up, that thing, right? And so the comment made and the treatment afterwards, at that point, it grew me, it matured me, taught me that endurance and that long suffering. So again, those are things that you're going to need as you move to the next, because if you're starting a business or you're jumping into a business with someone, it's going to take those things. So I think everything that I learned at the dealership, it taught me and has helped me for now. I say again, you have to know when to exit and how to exit. I don't think that it is necessary to leave in an uproar. I don't think you have to leave with people running you out. I don't think you have to be chased out. But I think there is a way to exit, right? When and the how to exit. Do not let fear stop you from leaving. If you're ready for the business, then don't let fear stop you. And I know that's easier said than done, but it is going to have to work beyond your fear. You're going to have to move beyond your fear because everything under the sun is going to tell you why you need to stay put on that job and why this is not going to work. but you got to move past fear. And then you make sure your reason of exit is connected to your purpose, not emotions. Because your emotions do change, right? Your emotions go in and out. Today, I'm good. Today, I'm gonna stay on this job. It's the best thing going. Tomorrow, I hate this place. I don't want to be here. The next day is, oh, what about my money? My money is solid here and okay over here in business, but I could do so much more. Freedom. I can help family. I could do that over here. So your emotions are going to change over time and situations. And sometimes when your challenges are there, that's definitely going to make you want to stay. But I think you have to know that it's connected to your purpose. If you're going to make that transition, again, you still can remain on the job and work the business. We're not saying that everybody is a entrepreneur only. You can do both. But then there are some who truly to heart, it is what they're called to, and they are ready. You're eager, you're hungry to leave that place and to start out and venture out full time, if at all possible. And I say that exit with that integrity we talked about and without issue. So if at all possible, leave without issue. Handle all of your closure business. So don't leave unfinished business at the job if you can help it. If you owe them something, make sure you pay it. If you have any unfinished business with people, make sure you close that out, because again, there is a way. All right. That brings you to the next point, which is you do bring closure. Now, when you make that decision, some things are going to feel really strange. You're going to question yourself on whether that's something that you should do, should have done, could I've waited, all of that, all of it. It'll be there. But I think if you finalize any business with that business, you're bringing closure. Finish any conversations and understandings with the necessary people, right? So if you're going to leave the job, make sure you have the right conversations with the right people before you leave. Ones who need to know some things, finalize that with them, let them know, and have the conversations, close it out, get a good understanding before you leave. That's important if you can. Make sure that that happens, and then clarify your departure. Clarify your departure. That means even to yourself and again to who needs to know. Be clear. Now, I know in my industry, sometimes when you leave, you could check back and there are tons of rumors that are out there. Why you left, they fired you, you found somewhere else to go. It's all kind of rumors that can be out there. But as many people that you need to speak to that it's necessary, we have those conversations and be real clear about your intent to move forward, those things. Now, if they making offers, they're making it better for you, and it fits into your purpose, then reconsider those things. That's not a bad thing. But if you're leaving and you know that, then go ahead and bring closure there. And then, especially if there were issues that others had with you, close the door, that chapter. Shake the dust off your feet, because some people are going to have a problem with you leaving. Some are going to get bothered. Some are going to try to bring demise. Some people are going to try to bring your name down. Some people are not in your corner. And so you want to make sure you close that door regardless, which means even if they're bad mouthing or trying to bring shame to your name, close the door. And then in the word, because even when it says just shake the dust off your feet and don't turn back. That's why I say know that this is what you want to do, because when you leave, don't turn back. Except that's what you're supposed to do, except there's a calling to that. But I strongly believe if you have been called off that job, then don't look back. You're supposed to take your peace and depart. And when you leave, I'm sure you're full of all kind of emotions, but your peace should return to you. You should always be back to a place where you understand this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not supposed to be here for long term, and move forward, right? And if you're hearing God clearly, this is the assignment, this is what you're supposed to be doing, then it brings me to the next, no regrets. If it's what you were supposed to do. Sometimes there are regrets because We're not sure. We wasn't sure if that was the timing. We wasn't sure if we left out of those emotions. And so we have to be real clear on what we're supposed to be doing, but no regrets if you know that. No agonizing. Again, that's easier said than done. There's no agony over these decisions, right? No beating yourself up over it if it's not working out, because sometimes that's another test. When you do transition, there are times you're still gonna have to really work that and birth that business. And sometimes you're going to question whether you made the right decision. But I would put it down in writing. I would put down the points that were made when you made the decision, because you're gonna have to remind yourself over time of why you made that decision. And you're gonna have to repeat it to yourself, and you're gonna have to show yourself. I won't say reconvince yourself, but you're gonna have to make yourself hear why you did this in the first place. And you're gonna have to go back to a reference point. So I definitely would say journal a whole lot during your journey. Journal during your journey, right? God's timing is perfect. And if you're doing it according to what He has told you to do, and you follow His leading, then you didn't make a mistake. You're doing it just how you're supposed to do that. You're doing just what you're supposed to do. And that brings me to the next, because when you make that decision, now you need to take a minute to rest and recover. Now, look, I'm not saying everybody has time to take weeks or months off and just kind of vacation first before they start the business. No, because I'm sure there's a need for a source of income. But if you've been working your business as a side hustle and it has made at least an income that covers you for a season, then take the time to rest and recover. But no matter how you have to do it, there's a time to rest and recover, because you're getting rid of an old and you're starting a new. So you want to be able to do that. You want to be able to rest and recover before you just jump head into a business idea. And you may or may not have that time to do that for a length of time. Like I just say it, mentally, emotionally, and physically, though, you need to try to rest and regroup. You do need to try to do a rest in between there. And then the exciting part, I think, is get ready for the new. Absolutely. All of this has been a journey but get ready for the new. Your preparation should have put you ahead in the game in some manner. You're not at ground zero with the business because you've been preparing along the way, remember? So you're not at ground zero, so you need to be celebrating the new. The new schedule, the new opportunities. You need to be celebrating the new. Again, journal this a whole lot, because you're going to have to remind yourself along the way. If there was proper preparation, you should be able to walk right into the new. So it's not that on Friday when I left, it's not that I had nothing to do. I was prepared for it, and I took my vacation time, my rest time. I did. Those were still strategic days. I was still strategizing, still planning, still developing during that time that I was off. And so I used that time wisely, but I'm ready for the new. It was like after I left there on Friday, I said, at this very hour, I can walk right into whatever it is that I need to do in the new business or need to do in my existing business, right? Continue to tell yourself and encourage yourself to receive the new assignment with open hands, because they are now emptied of the old. You cannot tell yourself or encourage yourself there to receive it with new hands if your hands are still holding on and holding that door of the old, right? You can't do it. So you got to make sure your hands are emptied of the old, and then be open for the new and ready for the new. A big mistake is to believe that you are entering the new, but you haven't finished the old. Don't fool yourself. Be very transparent with yourself. If you still have some reserve, then deal with that reserve and deal with those reservations that you have, and deal with the issues that may be holding you back, because you don't want to walk into it with remorse. Remember the story in the Bible where it says in Genesis 19 that God told Lot and his wife not to look back and do not stop in the valley. Don't look back and do not stop in the valley. Don't go back in the trenches and don't look back. But Lot's wife looked back and she turned to a pillar of salt. She had regrets. Why I gotta leave this? I'm good with this life. I'm good with this. These things are good for me. Don't look back. And I say, don't lose hope that even having made preparation, that doesn't fully prepare you for what's next. It just help you go the right direction or go the right direction to get in alignment. Let me read that again. Don't lose hope that even having made preparation, that doesn't fully prepare you for what's next. It just help you go the right direction to get you in alignment. What I'm saying there is, don't lose hope because you don't see the whole picture. You didn't see the whole picture at your job. You just saw you had a new job and you needed to learn your assignment and what to do. You didn't know the experiences you were going to have on that job. You didn't know the pay raises that were coming your way. You didn't know the management changes. You didn't know any of that. So you didn't know the whole picture at your job. How are you going to know the whole picture in your business? You're not going to. And so don't lose courage because you don't see that this thing is going to be your multi-million-dollar business down the line. You need to handle what is happening right now and enjoy the moment and learn from the moment because there's always something to gain in every moment, every season. And so don't get discouraged because you don't see way down the line, but take care of what is happening right here and now in the very moment of the business. Don't falter. Remember, God is going to send you signs of his plan. Now, the good thing I love about him is he's going to remind you that you're on the right track. He's going to encourage you. He's going to show you some things. He's going to send you confirmation of. He's going to encourage you along the way with confirmations. He's going to send things. He's going to send certain people. He's going to have you hear certain songs, certain conversations to know that I'm in the right place doing the right thing with the right people. So wanted to just make those few points. I encourage you on the journey to entrepreneurship and side hustles. If you want to just stay with a side hustle as well, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Again, I encourage both. I just want you to know or for you to be clear about where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, and when it's time. So to all my customers there, I say thank you for the opportunity in the car business. Oh, wow. I'm super excited for this next. Now, that's my big announcement of, and that I am super excited to tell you about. So part of my preparation on during that season was purchase vehicle building or my office and things like that. But you guys, I have launched the collab delivery and transportation services, and I am super hyped about that one. That one comes as a needed service for small businesses who want to offer a same day service, next day delivery, pickup, drop off, and they've not had that service to offer their client. Can you imagine how much rapport you build with your clients if you tell them, hey, I got that shirt ready for you and I can get that dropped off to you by this evening. It'll be on your porch. Or can you imagine pickup and drop offs that you can do for your small business without the fees or the expenses necessarily of a UPS or the main carriers? Something that you can just add to your business. You can contract with us. Add to your business delivery services, pickup services, drop-off services. Not only do we offer for small businesses, I want to extend that in a personal setting of both ride sharing and your children pick up and drop off. So if you have children and your schedule's busy and your children have busy schedules like yours and you need them picked up or dropped off from or to a practice, you need dinner picked up in between and get them home safely. Hey, we're your people now. Contract with us. Get us involved and let us be that safe and reliable transportation for your children. Also, airport runs, anything like that, any delivery, pickup, drop off, we can do that, right? And so that excites me because I know there's plenty of opportunity there, which leads me even to remind you that we're looking for some drivers who can get to our team. I want to build community. Collab is all about that. That means those who want to drive, who have some extra hours, who have reliable transportation, and that I can contract with and bond. You can be one of those drivers for us, and we can extend our services in different areas. So I'm excited about the expansion. So not only are we Authentic Star with our marketing and branding, not only are we talking tea shop with wearables and all of that, but now we're delivery and transportation. So I want to mention to you all those things. All of that is opportunity. And then last thing, of course, it goes in with collab is the collab advertising. So I say this as a small business or an entrepreneur. If you want to be put in front of at least 10,000 people a month or 10,000 homes, and you have the ability to touch at least 30,000 people per month, this is absent and in addition to any social media you're doing, and you want to be exclusive in your niche, then we have to talk more, because I'm going to be putting small businesses on to something that's going to put them in front of their actual buyers, 10,000 of them every single month. And I'm talking reasonable pricing, reasonable fee that you can do consistently. You can do it for only certain seasons or for a certain sale, whatever it is, but it can work for you because you'll be the only exclusive one that is getting put out in your niche that month. So I wouldn't miss it, right? And so stay tuned, because I'm going to give you guys the website and all the information that we have ready. But I want to tweak a couple of things. I want to put a few offers on there, starting offers. And so listen out this week and going into next week. But I'm going to probably break this up into two-part video and just make sure that the points of leaving the job, and that part is a whole video by itself, and then just the information on leaving with Canon and just that backstory. Those who know, you have my number. If not, I will list the number that I do advertise. I'll list that as well. But call me for anything in the car business. I'm excited because I'm talking now partnership with some who have the 18-wheelers, the trailers that do the auto transport. You guys, this thing is big, it's growing. And so I know I was going to run into the obstacles and the challenges initially, because those who want to distract and delay and deter what you really can do, I know that I was going to have that fight, but I don't have to fight for myself. I'm excited. We've launched, and stay tuned for more information. And as I always say, be authentic. Welcome to the entrepreneur class. Welcome to the entrepreneur life. Do what you're supposed to do, and at all costs, protect your integrity. Bye.